Hello everyone at the West Ham Network, Jonty Coleman here from Football London, following today's media day, not sort of pre-match or post-match ahead of a game, but because of a final next week in Prague, West Ham have put on a media day today. A lot of people here, a lot more than you normally get at sort of a pre-match press conference or something like that. There's been media attending from Italy and all over really, you know, have travelled in preparation for this one. So yeah, it's a very long day. I've been here since around about 9 AM this morning, and I've filmed this. I think it's just gone 3:30 this afternoon. So it started off with a press conference with David Moyes. He spoke for around half an hour, although some of that time was it was being translated into Italian as well. So some of that half an hour was spent, you know, having the answers translated. Then we got a glimpse. We got to watch about 45 minutes of training, although it was mainly sort of gym work and what they call activation ahead of a main session. So we got to watch a lot of that. I think everyone in the senior squad trained apart from Gianluca Scamacca, which obviously we know about. Christian Hegyi, Divine Mubama and Freddie Potts were all of the first team squad as well. Although all three of them, especially recently, that has been quite regular. But yeah, just worth noting that those three were part of it as well. And then they've set up quite a big marquee where they did the press conference. Normally it's in the sort of appearance room here at Rush Green, but yeah, there's a big marquee. We're all split off into our groups. So I was with Dan Kilpatrick from the Evening Standard, Roisin Thomas from The Athletic, and we spoke to Danny Ings and Vladimir Soufal. So those interviews will be going up next week ahead of a game. So stay tuned for that and another, you know, broadcast and radio and the national guys. They've all spoken to different players as well. So yeah, I think the majority of the squad have been interviewed in some capacity today. So yeah, worth keeping an eye on, not just our channels but across other outlets as well. Yeah, I'm mainly talk about what David Moyes said. He got asked a lot actually. Nothing on team news, but to be fair, as we said, based on training, it looked like there was no one missing, so that should probably mean it's some good news. One thing he was asked about was Mikel Antonio's recent comments. You may or may not have seen, but he recently did a podcast where he basically said that he thought Gianluca Scamacca was a quality player, but said that perhaps his playing style doesn't really suit Moyes and the Premier League. So yeah, Moyes said that, you know, he had no issues with Scamacca. He thought he was a great player. He didn't really want to divulge into what Antonio said. He also spoke about, you know, this being his first major final for a long time, and, you know, preparations behind that, and, you know, whether it's about doing anything different. Trying to think what else he said. It's interesting. He's been linked with a Celtic job recently, but said that it's not something he's interested. He was, you know, ever really thought about in. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, there's loads really to go at. It's all on Football London in one very long piece. So, you know, if you fancy a nice ice cream or cold drink, you know, and divulging that, it's all on the Football London website, as well as what he said on the Antonio Scamacca stuff, and there'll be a bit more coming out tonight and you know, in the next few days as well. So yeah, that's sort of a glimpse. You know, it's been really enjoyable day that the club have put on. So yeah, thanks to them for sorting that. And yeah, yeah, it's been, just feels weird that obviously we're at the end of the season now, or will be next week, and it's the last visit to Rush Green here this season. So just want to say thanks very much to all of you who've been watching these videos and things like that. So yeah, as I say, we'll try and do one or two more of these videos out in Prague next week, which reminds me, if you do have any interest, if you are going out and you've got an unusual route, I mean, myself and a lot of journalists that I know that are going, we've all got weird routes. Not many of us are flying direct. There's a flight somewhere, or myself, I'm actually getting trained part of the way. But yeah, if you do have any interesting routes, I am putting a piece together. Just get in touch with me at Jonty Coleman on Twitter. Hopefully the guys doing this video will give me a bit of a plug. But yeah, please get in touch. You know, very curious to hear about how everyone's getting there and things like that. So, but yeah, just want to say thanks to you all for watching, and yeah, we'll see you all out in Prague.